So we are less than 20 days away from James Gunn's Superman releasing, and in celebration of that, I wanted to discuss and go through the history of Superman, specifically the suits that he's worn over the years. So I wanted to do a video where I'm ranking every single live action Superman suit from my least favourite to my favourite. Now this is my fifth take of this video. The first four I just didn't feel were good enough, and then the fifth one, my mic wasn't on. So let's hope this one goes well, and if you're watching it, it did. So I just want to preface that these are completely my opinions, and you're probably not going to agree with most of them because I am very particular about how I like a Superman suit to look. I also want to say that just because a suit ranks really low doesn't mean that I hate the media, movie, or TV show that it's from. This is purely off aesthetics, and I just didn't like or love the suit. Okay, so just before we get into this video, I do want to do some honourable mentions because I don't feel it's fair to compare these to the rest of the suits on the list. And these are both of the black suits that Henry Cavill wore and Tyler Hoechlin wore in the Arrowverse and Man of Steel / Justice League. Zack Snyder's Justice League, obviously. Again, these suits do look pretty cool, but it's just not fair to compare them to the rest of them on this list. So coming in dead last place, my least favourite Superman suit of all time in live action, Christopher Reeve in Superman 1. Just kidding, it's Henry Cavill in Man of Steel. I just can't bring myself to like this suit. There's not a lot that I can like about it personally. I don't really like how dark the blue is. It looks almost navy / black sometimes. It doesn't have trunks. The belt isn't even really a belt. And my least favourite part about this suit is the stupid like cream coloured parts in the logo and the belt. Could have just been yellow and I'd have liked it a lot more. This suit would actually rank a lot higher if the colours were fixed, but we'll get to that later. Granted, it does look cool in some shots, but just the majority of them, I didn't like it. I can absolutely see why someone might like this suit, it just personally isn't for me. And like I said, a suit without trunks is going to rank a lot higher than a suit with trunks. So next on the list we have the suit that Tyler Hoechlin wore in the Arrowverse, which is this one on screen right here. It just looks out of proportion on him, and it just doesn't really do it for me. Again, no trunks, and the cape connects really weird. I don't have a lot to say about this suit, I just don't like it. It just looks weird to me and I'm not a fan of it. Kind of gives me Injustice vibes as well. Up next we have another controversial one. We have the suit that Dean Cain wore. So this suit is kind of similar to Christopher Reeve's Superman suit, but it has this weird shiny blue fabric, which just I'm not a fan of. I think other than that, it's pretty good, but that shiny blue just really puts me off the suit. I don't hate it when a Superman suit has a lot of shine to it, but I can't put my finger on it. It just looks weird to me sometimes. And don't get me wrong, he looks great in the suit, but the actual suit just doesn't do it for me. Okay, next we have another of Tyler Hoechlin's suits. It is the Fleischer suit that he wore in season 1. So this suit on paper is incredible. It's almost perfect. It would be like a top 3 or 4 suit for me, but that muscle suit pushes it right down to the bottom. That muscle suit is one of the worst I've ever seen. It just looks like a bunch of pillows stuffed into his suit. His shoulders look like weirdly out of proportion. But other than that, like, it is ripped from the Fleischer series. It's got this beautiful like light blue colour. But that muscle suit just really doesn't work for me. I do also love the fact that he's actually wearing the trunks with this suit rather than the other suits that he wore. And his other suits would rank a lot higher if they had trunks. Okay, so next we have the Superboy suit from 1989. Now this one would rank way higher, but I don't feel like it's fair to rank it as high as the Christopher Reeve suit because it is virtually the same as Christopher Reeve's suit. So I don't feel like it's fair to compare it to some of the other ones on the list that are ranking higher anyway. I've ranked it here because I feel like it's a nice middle ground for it. It looks great and he looks great in the suit. And like I said, it is pretty much the Christopher Reeve suit, so you can't really go wrong. And I probably should have put it in as an honourable mention, but I didn't. Okay, we have another one of Tyler Hoechlin's suits, and it is the Season 4 suit he wore. Now, this one is very similar to the Man of Steel suit, and one thing that pushes it right up for me is the belt. If you're not going to have trunks and it has a red belt, it's going to be a little bit higher for me. Again, I need the trunks, but if you're not going to give it trunks, at least give it a red belt, which Tyler's suits did. This one is more black than navy or blue, which I don't really hate, to be fair, weirdly enough. I do love Tyler Hoechlin's emblems, and I love how it has the little S's all over the suit like Brandon Routh's did. I like how the whole suit is more muted rather than having a contrasting blue and red. And again, this suit does actually have yellow in the emblem, so it does rank a lot higher for me. Okay, next we have one of the older suits on this list. We have the suit that George Reeves wore. So this suit is very old and it definitely stands the test of time, I think. The only two things that look really weird about this suit is how like big the trunks are. The trunks are like up to his stomach. They're really long at the top and then they cut right in like the classic trunks do. It's like a mixture of the boxer style and the brief style of trunks. And his cape just kind of hangs off his back. It doesn't really attach to the suit or attach into the suit. Other than that, though, it's a pretty good suit and it's definitely stood the test of time. Okay, so the last Superman and Lois suit on this list is the season 1 to 3 suit. Now, I know there are slight variations between them, but I do feel like it's kind of the same suit, and I will be doing a similar thing with Christopher Reeve, where all the suits are so similar that it doesn't warrant having different places on the list. This suit is the best modernization of a Superman suit that doesn't have trunks. I think this works really well for what it is, and in the universe, it just looks great. He definitely embodies Superman when wearing it, and I do really like the colors. The blues look great. Sometimes the muscles look a little bit weird, and the biggest issue with Tyler Hoechlin's suits is the muscle suits. They just don't look great. That's thanks to the CW's budget. The next one on the list is going to be Henry Cavill's suit in Batman vs Superman. Now, this suit is a improvement on the Man of Steel suit for me, but it's still not quite there. So the suit looks better the majority of the time than the Man of Steel suit did, but there are again still a few shots where it just looks too dark. Henry Cavill didn't really embody Superman the way that I'd like him to have done, and I think that definitely pushes the suit down, but we're ranking off aesthetics. I don't necessarily mind the Kryptonian text going through the emblem, and I do like Henry Cavill's emblem. Same as Tyler Hoechlin's, I don't think we really have a bad Superman emblem, but I think Henry Cavill has definitely had some better suits, and I do think that the trunks would push the suit right up to top 5 for me, but alas, he doesn't have them. Okay, next we have another one that Henry Cavill wore. It is the suit that he wore in the Joss Whedon Justice League. So this suit is the Batman vs Superman suit, but with a lighter blue and a worse muscle suit. So it's kind of like a trade-off. Do you want better muscle suit or a better color scheme? I personally take the color scheme over it, and I think he was definitely more Superman in this movie than he was in any other of the Snyderverse movies. And this suit just has a nicer blue overall, and I think it works a lot better than the dark blue does. But that muscle suit is just horrendous. I think that is actually one of the worst muscle suits I've ever seen. Just the weird silver accents don't work for me. Okay, so next we have a kind of Superman suit that kind of exists. It is the Nick Cage Superman suit that he wore in The Flash, but was originally going to wear in Tim Burton's Superman. I think it was called Superman Lives, wasn't it? Yeah, Superman Lives. So I remember watching The Flash and thinking, this suit looks pretty good. Like, I don't really hate this suit. It doesn't have the logo on the back, and it does have trunks, and it has this shiny material. Now, I don't necessarily mind the shiny material on this suit just because it's not really a fabric, it's more of a suit, if that makes sense. I think his logo looks pretty good, and the kind of neck area looks pretty good. I really don't hate this suit, and I think it's one of the better suits on the list. I'm not going to say much more about it because, again, we didn't really see much of it. We saw it for like a minute total. He does have the long hair, which again, I don't really mind for this version of Superman. Next up, we have Brandon Routh from Superman Returns. Now, this is supposed to be a continuation of Christopher Reeve's Superman suit, but it's worse. So it has this ugly brownish maroon burgundy dark red color for the cape and the boots and the logo. The cape's made of this weird like leather material. I don't actually mind the logo being on the belt. That's not really a deal breaker for me. The logo is just really small and the trunks look like Speedos. Other than that, this suit's pretty good. This edit is pretty much a perfect Superman suit in my opinion. And it wouldn't be until later that Brandon Routh would get to wear a better suit. Okay, we have the final Henry Cavill suit on this list. We have his suit in Black Adam. This is the Man of Steel suit, but it does everything that I spoke about earlier better. It has a nicer red and nicer blue. It doesn't have cream in the logo and the belt. It has like this orangey yellow color. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that it has trunks and the yellow S on the back. This is definitely a top 5 suit for me, and hence why it's in the top 5 of the ranking. I would have loved to have seen more of it, and it's a shame that we're not going to, but it's definitely been improved on with the next suit we're going to talk about, which is David Corenswet's suit in Superman 2025. This suit is awesome, right? So this is a mixture of a ton of different Superman suits over the years into one. You have the Kingdom Come logo from the comics with the Fleischer logo border that it had in the Fleischer series. You have the boxer style briefs and the slightly looser fitting suit that happened in All-Star Superman. You have this beautiful red, yellow and blue color scheme that Christopher Reeve had. The suit has this like texture, which is more of a reference to the Man of Steel suit and the Batman vs Superman suit. The yellow S on the back. This suit is just a love letter. You have the lines going through the suit and the collar like the New 52. It's just overall a love letter to the Superman suits and the history of Superman. And it does it really nicely, I think. There is yet to be a shot or a screen cap or a trailer with this suit in it that I don't like. The only one I was kind of iffy about was the initial reveal suit, but even then, I liked the suit and I could see that it had insane potential, and seeing it on set and in trailers and in the scenes of the movie, it definitely looks great and I can't wait to see it in cinemas. Okay, so next we have another Brandon Routh suit, and the final suit that Brandon Routh wore, which was his Crisis on Infinite Earth suit that he wore in the CW. So this is again a continuation of Christopher Reeve's suit, but in the style of Kingdom Come. This is basically the Kingdom Come suit from the comics, ripped out of the page and put into live action. It has the trunks, it has the belt, it has the Kingdom Come logo, it has the classic texture that the Brandon Routh suit had. It does still have that pleather cape, but it doesn't really bother me anymore. When you've got so many perfect aspects of a suit, the cape's material is the least of my concern. And at the end of Crisis on Infinite Earths, he does have the red and yellow logo and a brighter blue, and that is like a great suit again. I've seen people rank that even higher than the Christopher Reeve suit, and I can absolutely see why. It is almost perfect. But it just doesn't touch the suit that Christopher Reeve wore in Superman 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, I know there are slight variations in colour and size of each aspect of his suit between the movies, but it's so similar that it doesn't warrant different places on the list, I feel. This suit is perfect. Like, there is so little wrong about this suit. Maybe the fact that the logo is in the suit rather than being 3D, but I kind of prefer that. I actually like that. I don't think there is a single thing wrong with this suit. If I was going to modernize it, I would probably give it a raised logo and a longer cape. Other than that, this suit is perfection, and I doubt we will ever see a better live action suit. Hopefully in the future of the DCU, David Corenswet gets a new suit that looks more like this, but even if not, I'm happy with what we got, and I'm happy to let Christopher Reeve's legacy of wearing that suit live on. We'll never have another Superman like him, and I doubt we'll ever have another Superman suit like it. So that is my ranking of the Superman suits in live action. I know I have a lot of controversial takes, and I'd love to hear your takes in the comments below. I do plan on doing a Batman video where I'm ranking each of the Batman suits. I may even do a video ranking the different films and TV shows from Superman and Batman. I do have a video planned on Robert Pattinson's Batman and why he shouldn't be the DCU's Batman, so stay tuned for that. That will probably be out in about a week or two. Thank you all so much for the support on the last video, and I'll see you in the next one.